Alright, well, my Model X is back in for service, and now I've got a Cadillac. I never drove a Cadillac, I don't think ever. And I figured I want to drive this one since I drove a Model S recently, and I can kind of compare it to the Model S. If you want to see any of those Model S videos, just go ahead and search the channel up. But I'll be comparing this to the Tesla Model S. It's a 3.6, and it's really kind of old school. I mean, it really matches up well, I think, with the there we go. Push the button, it knows things in my pocket. Matches up with the Model S, but it's a very traditional interior. Leather all around, perforated leather, as you can see. And let's check out, well, first of all, the engine. It's got an engine. Okay. And let's pop the hood and take a look at it. 3.6, I'm guessing that's a V6 or is that 8? We'll find out. I don't know why it does that. Okay, it's a V6, 3.8 V6. This is probably the old GM. Maybe it has double overhead cams on it now. I don't know what. But I know 3.8 V6 has been around General Motors for a long time. And I think it's front wheel drive. That's one thing that's going to be different right away about this car. Oops. I'm closing it like a Tesla. Can't do that. There we go. It's going to be, I'm guessing this is front wheel drive. It's transversely mounted. And actually, let me shut that engine off. Seems to run pretty smoothly. Trunk's pretty big, and it looks like those seats probably fold down. It's really long in this area. I like that little button on there. That way you don't have to push the key fob. So what is, these are all tie downs, it looks like, in stereo stuff. I don't know if this seat folds forward or not. I'll move my bag out of the way. Looks like it does, a 60-40 split. So in terms of room, it's got almost as much room as the Model S. You're not going to have room up in this area where the hatchback is in the Model S, but at least everything will be covered permanently. And it's got pass-through for skis and other long objects, it looks like, and a center console, which is pretty cool. I don't think the Model S has anything like that in the back seat. As you can see, when things are off and the screen's a little dirty, there's not that many buttons here, which is great. If you notice, I compared the Infiniti QX80 to the Tesla Model X, and that thing had a plethora of buttons. It was way too many buttons. This stuff, it really has more when it lights up and turns on. This is Cadillac CUE. It's got a little weird vibrating thing too. When you touch on certain things, it vibrates. Hit it, click, doot, doot, doot. Like that's the, yeah. And the stereo, without even adjusting it, sounds better than the Infiniti stereo that I had. In that, when I reviewed the Infiniti, I was really disappointed. That's why I didn't even want another Infiniti this time. I just wanted to test out this Cadillac, see how it compares. Got some nice torque and responsiveness from the engine. Well, I'll say the quality of the stereo is pretty good. Really good sound quality overall. Good response. It sounds just like a great stereo overall. Turns out that I've got the 3.8 V6. There's a 4-cylinder that's standard. You can get an automatic. You can get a stick shift. I tried to look into this. You can even get all-wheel drive. But I think what I've got is the automatic 6-cylinder rear drive. Even though it's transversely mounted, that's just what it is, I think, on this car. Rear drive. I'll have to check to see if it's all-wheel drive, but there's no badging on that indicates that. The rear backup camera works really well in this car. One thing I noticed on the Model S is that the backup camera just wasn't all that accurate. The one on the X is really good, but the S is not so great. Sitting at the traffic light is pulled away from. This obviously does not have HEPA filtration and bioweapons defense mode in it on the climate control. That's not my trash. Actually, I was trying to see if it had all-wheel drive, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. No, there's no drive shaft coming out of that front tire. But what do you think? This is the car. And here, push the button. Since I have the key in my hand, you push the button, it'll unlock it. Yeah, and you can pull.
Nice.
No power door though.
Leather seats.
Yeah, I think it's leather anyway.
I can't reach that door.
You can't?
We're gonna have to drive like this.
We are? If I go accelerate real hard, it will shut it?
Yeah. Oh, it has both, just like a Nissan.
And it has actually pockets in the doors here. That's something that the Model S doesn't have. So I'm sure the Model 3 probably doesn't have pockets either. So that's an upgrade. It's crazy that that's an upgrade. Got lots of little storage compartments.
What does Cadillac have to do with Tesla?
This is a comparison between this ATS Cadillac and the Model S Tesla that we had before. Remember that one?
Yeah.
You got into it right here. Remember you almost banged your head? Is there more headroom in here than in the Model S?
It looks like a little bit.
There's no glass roof here though.
Yeah, the S was cramped.
Well, take a look here. There's gauges, and then it's got this, I don't know what this is, you'll see it. Actually, it's not showing it to me. Maybe it's because it knows I don't have my seatbelt on.
I've never been able to stretch my legs forwards.
Wait, say that again?
There's lots of leg room in American cars.
You've never been able to stretch your legs and not touch?
Yeah.
So there's more leg room here than maybe anything you can ever imagine?
Yeah.
SD card is not valid for this vehicle navigation. Okay, I won't use navigation anyway. It's probably the SD card and then its phone it's talking about, because I paired the phone. This was also real easy to do. It was a pain in the butt to do anything in that other Infiniti SUV that was compared to the Model X. But do you think this is leather? This stuff, or is it fake? I don't even know. It
feels fake.
does?
Yeah, it's too smooth for leather. It doesn't smell like leather. You should probably get to the secret storage.
Okay, in working with this, we just discovered secret storage. Watch this. The center console right underneath the screen. It bumps up, and look at that. It's a huge area.
Your valuables in there.
Diamond rings and whatever. You put them in there, right?
Whiskey flask.
Yeah, I'm hearing this noise, and it's these seats. It's like, yeah, air-conditioned, ventilated seats. You got one too.
I don't want
Here we go.
hair on my butt.
Tell me what it feels like, though. We want to know what it feels like. I've never driven a car with ventilated seats.
The Outlander's.
Yeah, it's a sportier ride. It handles well. It seems to handle well. You know, it's a long car, but it's not super wide. So it's kind of more like the S or the Model 3. It's actually, it's not as wide as I would have thought, considering how long the car is, but it does handle really well, and it seems to ride really well too. Okay, and there's no autopilot here. See how the engine does. It's pretty smooth.
It's pretty quiet for an American car.
So what do you think of the seats? You're adjusting them?
I like the lumbar adjustment. Just press the top button forward.
Top button? Okay, yeah, I feel that. I like the ventilated stuff. It feels refreshing. I don't feel like sweat's building up everywhere that you're sitting against. Hey, I found out with driving these cars with these rental cars, they've got this Easy Pass plate pass thing. It looks like apparently you can keep it out like this and use the Easy Pass and go through any toll and they'll bill your credit card. Or you can push it in and I guess it doesn't use it at that point. Open to use it. I guess it blocks it somehow. That's neat. I didn't even realize that, and I had these cars a couple times. So I think what it does is it goes on the credit card that you've set up for incidentals when you rent the car. That's how it gets billed.